Good evening. Another meeting with the Rose Investigator. So, oh my God. Wow. Oh. So, wow. So, you guys talking about President Bush Sr. passed away. And you know what this reminded me of, guys? Bless him and everything. Even though, he's done some not so nice things. But he's at least, he's done, he was a president, like acted like a president. So anyways, so this reminded me of, yeah, not a traitor. No, he was a real president. You know that if anything, whatever, no matter what happens, he is not a traitor. Okay, that's for sure. Now, so this reminds me, guys, a while back. I don't know when, one of those visions. I remember. Hi, Deborah. Hello from Australia. Morrissey is also from Australia. She sometimes pops in. So, anyway, I remember that one time when I was doing these visions, like when Trump was gonna go, when he was gonna leave, and I remember that there was a whole thing with the death of President Bush in the background. I remember this. It's like, one of those things that I sort of remember. It's hard to remember everything, right? Obviously, but so anyway, I was like, oh, maybe time for President, huh? President, calendar reminder. Yeah. So. Just because I remember this well, because I remember, I still even see the image of the funeral of Bush. This is the thing, and maybe I'll find in some reading, I don't know which one, but I still see it, that this was in the background of this, the treason of Trump comes up. Maybe it's now, it's coming up because we see how how much of a non-president he is, so it's kind of interesting, this idea of what it means to be a president, right? Charlie Sheen winning oh my God. Yeah. By winning. Yeah. He's winning. I'm winning. Oh my God. What? So, oh my God, guys, let's get started, okay? I didn't make notes, but I feel like connected. That's right. I saw that. There was this issue. I saw that Sherry's talking about some guy who in the Justice Department who was connected to Brody. But I think somebody, actually, I do remember reading that the stuff that I remember reading a while back, that the stuff he pled guilty to, something that had happened after Trump went into office. So I don't think it's necessarily connected here. Okay. So I don't know, but let's see. So, yeah. Let's see with the glasses. Let's have more conversations. It's weird, guys, this thing with the costumes, once you start, it's always like kind of crazy town or whatever. But it's okay, right? Sometimes I'll be more or less. It won't be forever. So, no, just started. So, okay, so here we have questions about what is happening. Okay, so, guys, the other thing I think is important too, next week is a big week, okay? Did you see how many, so much, I feel like, and this is what I took from the last reading I did, which is that everything is going to be revealed, okay? You know what I mean? It's like everything is being revealed, and that's it. Because as we guys, it's like, it's amazing, guys. What did you say after that? Like, he offered putting $50 million apartment. What else? Where else do you go after this? Seriously. No, it was Hillary. Hillary did it. She said Hillary wanted to sell my apartment to Putin. Can you believe it? Oh my God. Seriously? No, it's Hillary. It's George Soros. It's amazing, right? It's like really unbelievable, these people. So, Jesus Christ. No, I don't think that Jen is like the concern that we all have. The courts have to be open. Yeah. No, I'm sure, Jen, and I'm sure he he would be happy, if courts are open to get traitors. We have traitors. Yeah, let's get traitors. We open building for traitor. Come the nations. so okay. So guys, I didn't take notes. I'm a little late here. And then let me just go back to what I posted already here. And then okay, one second. Okay, let's see. Okay, because I feel like there's more here. Yeah, Trump at the G20. Guys, how fun. Did you see Trump, president? Huh? So, okay, so he was totally ignored. Okay. He was ignored. Really? Everybody loves him. Yeah. So he was ignored. Did you see his body language? Oh my God. Did you see him? There was this, I just saw very briefly. He was with the president of Argentina. Don't cara from me, Argentina. No. And then he didn't know which way to go. He was like kind of going off stage and somebody had to go grab him. Yeah. It was crazy. Like he's not fit for office. But guys, this is what I think. I remember cards last time. I saw cards. Remember those cards of the crazy person? He's very unstable. Okay. I think his whole life he has used this whole thing of being crazy. But I think it's like it got to a point where he can't really, I mean, how could you hide stuff like this? It's like that's all the only I watched the day after I watched Rachel's show, and it was so well explained. She said everything he's done has been to it. And then because guys, this is what I want to say. I remember how I always saw this thing with the Russians, that they had offered him this money, but the money never went through. They never came through, and he was always waiting. This is what would made him be so anxious all the time, because they promised the money and they were like, oh, you could get this and that. They never came. The money never came. And so, and that's the thing, they were always pushing. It's like part of it was blackmail, but part of it was money that they were offering, but they didn't give him all the money or most of the money. And this is it, guys. Now it explains that. Did you see the whole story? It's very clear. The bank it was like one of those sanctions. They did it perfectly. They wrapped up the whole thing and like, we'll give you money, but it's gonna have to come from this sanctioned bank. The only way you can get money is to lift the sanction so we can pay you. So very clear, right? Very simple, actually. So now, what are you gonna say? I mean, it's very obvious. One question, guys, that I feel like I didn't ask last time, and some of you have raised, and I think I want to ask, maybe this is how we should start, is what about that guy Felix Sater? Because I had read at a profile of his saying that he was always an FBI informant. And I don't know, because it's like, how could my simple question, I think I did a reading on him once. I don't understand how come he's still alive, because he mastered all these people and he read it on all of them. And right. And it's like, he's still around. It's amazing. You know what I mean? So what is the deal here? Is he really an informant or something like that? So, because he was, he's listed on those emails, and it's weird how he's not listed in any indictment. I mean, he was listed on that indictment, but I don't know that he will be indicted. This is what I want to know. Is this guy part of is this some sort of informant or some sort of, what do you say? I don't know. What's his role in this? Okay. Which side is he on? Okay. It's shady, obviously, but is he going to get away with this? I mean, I don't know. I mean, but guys, it's funny. The first card, the pop here with the prison, but guys, seriously, the thing here is that it's so huge. Whoever, this is like, this is a treason situation here. Okay. Clear. It's so obvious, right? It's not even complicated. Okay. So that's what I want to know. Okay. So let's, if you don't mind, I'm going to get started. Let's start with let's say, Felix Sater, what is his role? Like, what side is he on? Okay. Is he on the side of the government? Is he going to be indicted? Or is he okay? Okay, that's number one. Number two is, let's just start with that. Felix Sater, this whole Trump conspiracy. And then we'll look into the G20. And then we'll look in, the different small questions about G20. And then we'll look into next week, because next week, guys, is big, okay? Next week is very big. There's calendar. There's Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday. Big events, big events. So tomorrow Hanukkah starts. Happy Hanukkah. So I don't know. I'm thinking, oh my god. So anyway, oh my god. Okay, so then I'm trying to think. So Felix Sater, what's Felix Sater? What is up with Felix Sater? What's the deal with Felix Sater? Is he gonna be indicted? What the hell? What the hell? Huh? Felix Sater, are you Russian mob? Are you just trolling President? Huh? So anyway, yeah. So this whole, this whole thing with climate change, guys. It's it's weird. Okay, obviously they all, anybody who's into oil, extracting oil, they don't want anything to happen that way. Okay, so that's that. All right, so July, you guys are they were mentioning somebody, some random person on YouTube, I guess. I don't know who it is. I'm not vouching for this person. I don't even know who that is, but I'm just like, it seems kind of far, July, to be honest. We'll see. Okay, let's move on from this. But if you want to talk about somebody else, please mention the name or something. No links, but at least so that Anyway, such and such somebody said, it's not really useful for me. Anyway, okay, so I'm gonna get started. Okay, all right, bye. Okay, I want to be here and looking at this. All right, okay, so. What about Felix Sater? Felix Sater, Felix Sater, Felix Sater, Felix Sater, Felix Sater. Okay. So Felix Sater, what's going on? Yeah, guys, I don't know. I just to finish this thing you guys are talking about. I don't necessarily like to talk about what somebody I don't even watch. I don't know. It's I'm not participating in this conversation, but I just wanted to say that I think it's kind of far, July, just because from the cards that I see the walking away pretty I don't know, guys. I kind of feel like it's not that far. Okay, I don't understand how we would survive this far. I know I've said before, we have survived indeed, but once the Democrats are in Congress, I don't understand how there's going to be all these televised hearings. I don't understand how they're going to survive. Okay, I don't think that, I don't know, it could be March, but I think July, it seems really far. The thing is, guys, what was I going to say? This is just from a logical perspective, okay? Who knows? Could be that there's all these things going, but I just feel bleak outside, holidays. I feel can you imagine this continuing? I don't know how the government will continue. You know what I mean? Because he's already so out of it. It seems like he's completely out of it. So So you know what I mean? I feel like it's soon. Okay. So I don't know. But like I said, I don't honestly I'm gonna ask you if you come to my live stream, please don't. I'm just gonna, this is my preference. Don't mention like such and such said. I really don't like to be like such and such said, but then you say, it's a comparison or whatever. I don't like it. I'm just be honest, okay? Because it's like such and such said and whatever, then it's like go watch the other person. I'm sorry. No, I'm time to be rude. It's just like a personal thing, It's like I'm taking the time to do the live reading. And if you don't want to talk about something that somebody else said, then go to the person's video and talk about it. I'm sorry. No, I know. No, it's just, I know you don't mean, I know guys, I love you guys and everything, but it's just like, sometimes that's just my personal thing. I know it's like, I'm difficult sometimes or whatever, but you know what I mean? Just so that I'm like, oh, it's just said, but what do I say? Do I want to hear, whatever. I know it's like, so anyway, just going back here. Okay. So that I can focus on this. Okay. So let's talk about Felix Sater. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so interesting. Important. Wow. Yeah. We'll see. No, see, because so far it looks like he has a role in removing something important that cuts the corruption, right? That cuts through the crap, basically, literally. Okay. Okay, and then. Okay, meeting. Okay. Long way. Private. Yeah, it looks okay. So far, just it describes, I think, the situation that happened. There were these meetings way back, important meetings, everything, but it doesn't tell me yet. Okay, it's gonna come, but we'll see. It doesn't tell me yet what he does or how he does it. Okay, let's see. Okay, interesting. Okay, yeah. Okay, so let's get the cards here. Okay, so this. Okay. All right. So Yeah. Okay. So guys, okay. All right. So yeah, so let's that. Now we know how to discuss about the other person, because I just continue here. It just, I find it a little bit distracting, and I feel like I have this emotional connection with you guys and everything, being here, being present. And if I think, oh, such and so said, and it's like I don't like feeling like I have to follow somebody else. It's like I do my own thing. So that's it. I'm gonna stop here and go into the Felix later. What is so interesting thus far is that he, it's weird. It's like I think he will probably be indicted, because it shows here that he's connected to arranging the attacks. Okay. Um. So that's that. Okay. So okay. So anyway, so that's that. Okay. All right. So this is, guys, this is interesting. This is a card of, this is illusions. Okay. And so upside down, it to me this means propaganda. Moving on. Magician, it has to do with the power of transforming thoughts into reality. So it's possible that Felix Sater was instrumental in bringing the idea of Trump into reality. He wrote that, something like this: we can make things, we can create a change. Using now, what this suggests thus far is that he may have had a role in arranging something related to the Russian military attacks, okay, in December, because there's something connected to propaganda here, messaging, okay. So then we have here something important creates an ending or sudden loss, okay. The scythe means cut, but it also means something sudden. So this is a loss, okay. So it's possible that it could mean that this important information cuts the what is it called, the chat, cuts the corruption, okay. But it could also be that it's like he's responsible for, because then we have the attacks card below. Okay, so this is a long time ago. Cooperation that was created a long time ago in private or confidential, okay, behind the scenes. Okay, so then we'll see here below. Now we have this is something becomes known, okay? And this is that probably true that this is happening now. Something very important came about, the deception they all put together. Something that happened a long time ago, that's some sort of deal, probably. Then we have here a marriage, successful marriage, right? So a long time ago, as we know, Trump has a long-term relationship with Russia from going back 30 years, something like that. And this is the court man, okay? This would be the Justice Department. So I think this is the moment when this stuff is revealed, which I think is now, okay? And then we have, now this is significant here, we have anger, enemy, okay? This is also anger and enemy. So there's aggression. If you think about it, aggression. And another card that has to do with aggression, which is an enemy attack. When the military is upside down, that's an enemy attack. So then we have White House, okay? So this is very, very clear. He helped connect. He's part of this group that creates the sudden meeting that creates the connection and then helps the foreign attack. Now we have such a dot that means the law, discovery of finances, right? We know the thing about, because guys, you see the article on BuzzFeed? The article on BuzzFeed is called, it said that Trump gave Putin or offered Putin a $50 million apartment. So this is a discovery of the money. And then this is interesting because leggerezza means the traditional meaning is lack of focus or like light. Oh, but I think of it as both facade and transfer. So sort of like, I think of it signals, those kinds of things. Okay, so there are signals or dots basically that show how this is the connection. Like, I think this guy has some connection to the Russian military as well, and also connection to Trump. So it's almost as if, oh guys, and I'm remembering now, he is an old friend of Cohen's, okay, apparently. Okay. So this is the thing. Thus far, that's what it looks like. It's not clear to me. So we're going to ask next. So yeah, he's part of it, and this is the law reveals these things. But I find it weird, right? That this guy. So is this guy working for the government, the U.S. government, or is he working? Okay, simple question. In terms of the Mueller investigation, is Felix Sater working for or against Trump? Like, is this information that he gave? Is he on which side is he, and is he going to be indicted? Is he going to prison? Right? Because it's not clear. I don't know. I'm not. You see all these movies, the mafia movies or whatever. Those informants, they get a lot of cut. They have a lot of advantages. Okay, so I don't know. I don't know if he was organizing this thing from the beginning, knowing that he was going to give information to the feds, or what? Okay, because this sounds weird that he would have so much access. Okay, is that okay? Okay, moving on. Behind the scenes money. Okay, so like I said, let's move this to the side. Let's figure out here. Okay. Then we have White House. The man. Okay, I think this is him. Vision, or could also be network. Okay, so yeah, this is usually the Putin card, guys. So this would be the money. I think this could be Trump, but it could also be the man who has money. So it could be an oligarch. Okay, and this again another marriage card. So there's a connection here. Could also be the connection Trump and all. He connected Trump to the oligarchs, are connected. Okay, so then what do we have here? Sad news. Okay. The White House, sad news. Okay. Theft. Okay. So. Gossip. A lot of money, a lot of shady money. Okay. Okay, yes, I don't see here. Yeah, this is weird. Okay, so sadness, that's sad news. Okay. Loss. Friend. Okay. Love upside down. Guys, you know, I have to do a vision on this, but so far I feel like I have to do a vision to understand. Okay, so basically what it looks like to me is that he is probably on the government side, just so far. Okay, but I have to do it now because it's interesting. The cards are really not giving me anything connected to like a crime that he has made. Okay, so like, you know, something like, so this is somebody behind the scenes, could be actually good people. Moving on, somebody helping maybe convince Trump to move on, to leave because of the money people. Now this is, I think this is him. This is the main man here connected to the White House, and the network could be network, but also the internet. Okay, or vision or hope. Now he's connected, I think, here to these oligarchs. There's Putin, or could also be Trump. So it's either way, it doesn't make a huge difference. And there's a marriage here. Okay, so he's part of this group, it looks like to me, in a way. But then we have the White House receives sad news about theft, dishonor, right? This is what they've done. This is right now. And then there's a lot of money, right? This is the 50, I think, still the million. This is now gossip. This is what this card in this context, I think, is significant because people are talking. So he's talking, right? If you think about it, if this is a card of people chit chat, you know, gossip, then he's talking about this money, right? And this is the woman. This sometimes means Russia. It could mean, oh, that's right. He could have talked about Ivanka. So I pulled another card. This is sad. So there's somebody crying. So the stuff that he talks about brings sadness, right? Brings something. It's not good news to whoever, whoever the source of the gossip is not good. Then we have here, guys, this is, man upside. It's like I say, you guys know I don't really care so much for whoever it is, but then you have the love upside down. Okay, then I want to talk about it a little bit later. Then the friend. This is why I think it's possible that he works for the government, because he's the friend doesn't have to be a man or a woman. I feel like there's a sense here that he is talking. There's something here that seems positive, okay? And this is so speedy, that means longing. So I feel like there's a sense here that he was feeding on Trump's megalomania, okay? So, so this is what I want to say. I feel like if I look column by column, here the first, we have I think that he must know about the women, the sex stuff, because it could mean two things: that they're no longer friends, or they haven't been friends in a while, but it could also mean that he knows about the sex. That's what I think it is. But he knows about the sex stuff, and he manipulates Trump in some way, because this is a card of longing. So he knows about Trump's personality and this shady money. Okay, so he's connected to the network that is dishonest, and there's sad news because of their longing. But I still don't see him. This is like he has the powerful people behind him, the good powerful people behind him, and he's described as a friend here. So this is why, guys, I think he's an informant, yes. Okay, and I feel like somehow, because I feel like, guys, there was this thing about him before. I read some article about how the government got him on those, like, I forgot what it was. It was some sort of, like, I think it was securities fraud or something. And then they kept him on because he's very valuable. And I could see why, because it looks like he travels, and this is what also the thing said, it travels in the very high levels. And yet he talks here. Definitely he talks. And I don't see any cards connected to, like, say, remember how usually you get the coffin, you get all these terrible cards, okay? I don't get the sense here, okay? So this is why, all right? It's interesting. I feel like this is why, okay? So I'm gonna close my eyes, because I feel like, you see, I'm kind of trying. It's so interesting, sometimes you try to find the information, and you ask in a different, I asked in a different direction, everything still doesn't come up. So maybe this is the answer. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do a vision to understand better. Okay. So tell me about Felix Sater. So Felix Sater, I want to know whether he is working for the government or Trump, and how come he was able to do all this, right? How come he was able to get away with doing? He's still alive. I don't understand. Like, seriously, how come he's still alive? Because you remember, guys, I mean, I watched Sopranos too many times, and when if they think that you're, like, went to prison, there's something shady, like there's even the slightest possibility that you could be wired, they kill you before finding out more information. It's weird to me that he would have access and they would not know. Like, okay, so how does this happen? How come Felix Sater? Tell me, Felix. I'm looking at you, Felix. What is your story? Tell me, Felix. I want to know. Okay, so what you should know is that when I grew up, the environment that I was in, everybody was in the Russian mob, everybody is connected. So it is what it is. You can't just not be part of it. Okay. And there's a lot of people, I know a lot of the so-called illegals, a lot of these Russians that kind of have a normal life here, but they have, they have this other thing. So yeah, they caught me that time. It's true. I caught it. I still do some things here and there, whatever. But no, I don't want to. Oh, and he's saying, oh my God, guys, oh my God. So I'm getting the sense here, guys, that he's saying, there has been an investigation into Trump for years, and I kept them informed about everything that was going on. I could have gone to prison for more than a decade, and I didn't, for this reason, because I know about the activities of all these people. So at some point I became more interesting to them. Okay, but how come? So the story of the Kremlin, what is this? I mean, I don't understand how, I mean, did they really trust you like this? It's crazy. How did this happen? It's hard for me to look at this and not think that you had something to do with it. What is happening? Well, I know that Trump is the kind of guy that if you pump his ego enough, he's gonna. You could say to him, "Trump, we're gonna go to Mars, man. You're the greatest." And he's like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah." Because if you pump his ego, he will do what you want him to do. So, for example, you could say to him something like, "You're the greatest. You're the hottest guy. Get all the women. Oh my God, you're amazing." And he will go with your plan because you will associate what you have to say with him being great. So it's pretty easy to manipulate in a way, even if I were making it up, which I was not, because you always wanted to do the thing. And it's true, they always wanted to do a thing in Moscow, and there's a lot of hangers on. I was just one of the hangers on. I was just one of the people that, because in a way, Trump was always known as a crime facilitator. He was never the big guy. He is the kind of guy you paid off in order to, to get some money out of. Okay, the big money was not, he did not make the big money, the mob did. So he was kind of like a facade. He was a facade person, and we could count on him. He was on our side. So this is how it happens. He's the kind of person, like, I'm not saying that there were a lot of people pushing Trump to do things, but they know how to press his button, and he's a megalomaniac. So I was basically witnessing all of this, and I was participating, of course, and I had some access. And the fact that I'm Russian, they trust me. They know I'm not I wouldn't be crazy, right? Quote unquote, to mess with the mob, the Russian mob or whatever. But that's real. So Mueller. Okay, now let's ask Mueller, okay, and the FBI. Okay, so let's say Mueller. So Mueller, what is the role of Felix Sater here? You know what? I would not never have gotten these other mob investigations that I did in the past without the collaboration of informants. It's pretty much impossible. So this guy, Felix Sater, he's respected in the FBI because, in fact, he has been an informant so many years. So it's not a new thing. So what happened, he kept the activity going with Trump, and he kept doing these things. But at the same time, so what is it? So it's, yeah, at the same time, he would tell us sort of specific things, I think, okay? Because this guys, I think this information was there. Remember how recently, like relatively, how do you say that? There was this, I feel like there was about a year ago, there was an article about this, like how he said he was an informant. Remember this? It came out about a year ago, and it kind of went away because they said, oh, this guy, nobody wants to talk about it. And he was sort of like, oh, he said, oh, I'm cleaning my name or something like that. So that's what it looks like, guys. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so this is it. Okay, so is this okay? So what will be? How will Felix Sater be known in history? Felix Sater will be known as the guy who is in the mob, but flipped. But the Russian mob is. You see, this is what. Okay, this is what I still have this question. How come he's still alive? I don't get it. If he collaborated and he did all these things, how come he's still standing? I don't get it. Okay, so why aren't they after him? Or why is this still okay? So, well, first of all, the stuff that the FBI got him on was security. It was just something relatively small. So they didn't think that it was a big deal. And he was just, like I said, a kind of like a hanger on. He was not the main person, okay, for this. So this is it. And guys, yeah, so how does he stay safe? I'd say showing me FBI. Like he's protected, I think, in some way. Okay. He's not protected by the mob, but I think he's protected by the FBI. I believe, okay? So that's what I think. Okay. So yeah. So just last, because I'm still okay. So what is going to be the story when we look back? What will be the story of Felix Sater? How will he be known as? Okay. Oh yeah, justice upright for him. Yeah, secret. I think it's possible, guys, that he's a long-term, this mountains long-term problems or something that has been going on for a long time. So secrets about long-term Okay, let's see. Let's see all the cards. Oh, look, aggression. Covert. Okay, let's see here. Covert could also be this. Worried about money. Yeah, interesting, guys. This is also suggests, because it could be sexual, but it could also be that he can't. And I've read this before, right? How once they kind of flip you, you don't really have much of a choice. You know, no, and people who are actual criminals, the feds are very powerful, and they're like, you can't. You know what I mean? They kind of push you, right? It's not like you have a huge choice. It's like either you're gonna go to jail for a long time, or it's gonna be really tough. So okay, so it's interesting. Let's see here. Let's see what do we have. Oh, the White House. Okay, this is could also be real estate, okay? Yeah, false person. And trips, these interesting trips. Successful. Solution partner. Yeah, that's why he was a business partner of Trump. And yeah, so this is the foreign stuff. Found this stuff, yeah. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, so guys, I just I was just gonna say here, yeah, you know, it's weird. Okay, to me, it's like on my logical mind, it makes no sense. It makes no sense that he's not going to prison because he's involved in something like this. But maybe I'm interpreting the cards wrong. Okay, I feel like he's involved in all these shadiness. He's there, but I don't know that he goes to prison. That's my feeling. Okay, there's no cards here to suggest indictments, or I think he's observed everything very closely, but I don't know that he goes. Okay. Is it gonna go? Is Felix Sater, okay? Tell me 5 years. Where is Felix Sater gonna be? Is he gonna be free? Or is he gonna go to jail? Where is it gonna go? December 2023. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know, guys. I don't necessarily think that he's gonna. I don't feel like you know, the vibe that I get about him is not the same as the people who are kind of like working for Trump, or like it's almost like those people that have worked on the Trump project. In a way, some of them are naive. Okay, they've never really. So if you think about all these people, they're privileged, and most of them have never been through very serious investigations and lost. Okay, so this is why they're kind of like first timers, they, you know, rich kids or whatever, right? So this is the sense I got. I think he's seen it. He's somebody who was on the other side and flipped. So, right? He has immunity, exactly. I feel like he's been an informant for a long time. So that's it. Okay. All right. So he's an informant. How, you know, that's basically what it is. So now move on, because I feel like there's a lot more bigger questions, but this kind of clarified for me. Okay, this issue of him. So now let's move to the G20. Okay. Now the G20, there's several issues here. Okay. So the state, I mean, Trump is completely out of it. I want to know what's the state of what's the state of mind? What is he having a meeting with Putin? What's the story behind the Putin and MBS high five? Is Trump happy? I'm sorry, is Putin happy with, Trump? Okay, I don't think he is, but that's what I want to, guys, I kind of want to, just because in you know, I don't necessarily, it's not that I want to put a time thing, okay, onto it, but I want to, let's do vision first, because there's all these interesting all these different things happening there. I don't know that I want to ask about the stuff about China today, because there's all the tariffs, but I think let me leave it for another day, just because there's all this stuff related to the Mueller investigation right now. So okay, so tell me what happened. What was Trump's state of mind? And what's going on with the friendship between MBS? The public display of their friendship, okay, and then the meeting with Putin. Okay, so what's happening with Trump? Show me what's happening with Trump. Guys, it's so interesting. The image that came to me, the first thing was like remember just the huge church bells, especially in like Italian movies, they have all these like this images. So it's like he was inside a bell and they rang boom the bell and he was inside the bell. So he's totally like woo, like he's totally confused because his whole life was about hiding who he really was and projecting an image of an image of that he was, I'm the billionaire, but that's not who he is. So his whole life has been about hiding everything he actually is and projecting. So it shows that when you have the hitting, the bell, ooh, he's like this, he gets confused because like I said, he always seems to get, it's very deep in him, okay, that he tries to hide. And then eventually it's almost like something hits him where it's in a weird way, okay. In a weird way, I think he doesn't know the script anymore, okay. This is it. I think he's losing the script, okay. And yeah, exactly. Breakdown, mental breakdown. This is it, guys. This is it exactly. It feels much more. People say, "Oh, is he crazy?" He's having a mental breakdown. This is it exactly. It's not that he's super. I mean, he has elements of crazy. I guess he has the dementia thing that people say that he does, but that's what it looks like, mental breakdown, because it can no longer deal with. You know how he is, like, guys, he's always like, no, but it's Hillary, it's George Soros, it's da 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 da, and he tries to change the news topic, right? And he can't. He can no longer like change the news topic, and he's just like, no, but it's, and more, it looks more and more ridiculous. The whole thing just looks ridiculous, and it's just exactly false sense of show. Exactly. So it's like his mental breakdown, and he's just like, oh, it's suddenly it doesn't, it's kind of like he's exhausted, guys, okay. Exactly, but he's like, you're saying, can't face not being centered the attention, but it's not even that. It's like imagine the darkest secret that he has, he knows is going to come out, and it's because this is how his psyche operates, okay. He has a strong voice that, okay, the strong voice that says to him, you're disgusting. There you are with, there's a sense of like deep self-hatred inside of himself. Okay, that's part one. And he overcompensates by being extremely aggressive and trying to be somebody that he thinks is the person who is a good person. And I've talked about it one time before, guys. You know how, for example, this explains why he likes the house that is a joke. The house, everything is golden, everything is fake. But because it's like a child, how a child sees the world. You know what I mean? Kind of like that, like, oh, I'm going to be a big millionaire guy who has a big gold house. Like people who are truly wealthy, they're not exactly like that. Sometimes you don't know who, they're not so conspicuous. They're not trying to show it to your face, okay? So then this is it. And it's like now he feels like, he's like, no, but I won, I won. And this is why he's the struggle. It's almost like he tries to hide who he is so much. Like, the true, quote unquote, true Trump, that it's like, this is why, he overcomes. It's like there's this enormous effort to do all these things. Okay. So it's like I said, it is a breakdown of all the mechanisms that allowed him to be successful. Even if he has no emotions, okay, it's just very hard to not just keep track of everything. The fact that he's, his preoccupation is only money, guys. This is showing everything that he created. This is, oh my God, this is an interesting image. I'm getting this image of a building. You know, it's, oh my God, this is so interesting. I have it. It's like almost like as if he's walking down the street wearing a costume, but the costume is a building, right? So he built all these buildings to hide who he really is. Okay, I understand he grew up in this is the business of the family, but it shows that he uses these buildings to hide who he really is because he finds it extremely shameful. So then, now that everything is coming out, he can't, it's almost like a person who's going to be naked and you have to hold on to the clothes, okay? And he can't hold on to the clothes, and it's like really, and it's really, his reality is coming down, crashing down. Everything is coming trashing down about him. Not, and the guys, because some of you are saying, well, but he's upset about Whitaker. I don't think he's even in the mental space where he can comprehend the day to day. Honestly, right now, it's almost like it's like this very deep psychological thing that is going on. It's like, imagine, I don't really have a lot of experience with somebody who is extreme. Maybe Lucian's like the opposite, yeah, something like that. Like it's, imagine if a big, I'm trying to think, I just can't think of an example, guys. Oh, I can think of an example. It's that guy, Lance Armstrong. Remember how when Lance Armstrong, he was found to be this whole time. Maybe it's a good. It's a. Oh my God! Exactly. It's like that's the only thing, guys. Wendy's saying, can you imagine having him break down the whole world watching you? Exactly. So it's kind of like, remember, what's his name? Lance Armstrong. He also was like, I remember reading his book. I was like, wow, it's so amazing. He's so incredible. And I believed, he really was like, wow, I'm not a cyclist. I don't know. And then suddenly he's exposed. And it was like this enormous scheme to kind of try to win. I mean, I know he was very competitive, but at the same time, he was like all these crazy blood transfusions and all this weird, all these crazy things. And then he goes on television and he can't apologize. He can't admit that he was lying to people. He just like, you could see it in an interview with Oprah that he was like, no, like it was right. It was justified, in his mind. That's how he built himself. So similar with Trump, it's like really the whole thing. So anyway, so this is what is happening, guys. So it's almost like he's living, like I said before, the one positive thing, if you can think of Trump, if he can teach us anything, is that his sickness allows him to kind of project what he wants, the fantasy world, into the world. That's kind of interesting, right? But it goes downhill from there, where he doesn't understand the difference between truth and reality. And I really think he thinks he's God. I believe, guys, that he thinks he's like, he could change. It's like, what? I'm not God? What are you talking about? So anyway, guys, so this, do you want to see, I'm like, because this was interesting. It's funny. I've been doing cards and now did the version. I thought it was really interesting, right? So this is it. Now, I think it's clear, right, what his mental space is. Yeah. So, okay. So, but, so that's it. Okay. So now let's see. Now let's look at the relation. What's happening what's the dynamic? Oh, this may be this bit better question. What is the dynamic between Trump and Putin right now? And what is the dynamic between Putin and MBS? Okay. Because I feel like they're like we're the cool kids now. You never had money. Who gave you all the money, huh? Yeah. Okay. So what is the dynamic of Trump and Putin right now? What's going on? Wow, guys. Hi, everyone. Wow. I'm just like, this is kind of, sometimes I have these visions that can be really creepy and weird. And this is one of them. It was really weird. It was like, he's basically, the thing about Putin, and like, this is really turning out to be like psychological profile thing. It's very strange, but But guys, this is like, it's showing me that Trump, the reason why Trump kind of connects with Putin is that Putin plays the role of Trump's father. He reminds Trump of the relationship he had with his father, and it was all about how the father would set up these impossible comparisons, and he expected him to meet, almost like it was a weird humiliating game where he was it's showing me here. He's saying, I expect you to do this, but then he's saying, but I know you're trash. Nobody knows that you're disgusting, right? Look at you, all nicely dressed, but we know you're trash, right? This is who you are. I know it. I know it. So it's like really, it reminds me of like some sort of S&M. It was really kind of creepy because he's saying he's like a school. He looks like a schoolboy, like 5 years old or something, with a uniform, and he wants Putin to beat him up. Okay, it's really weird, guys. It's very strange. Luciana say the Oedipal conflict. I don't know, exactly what that means, but it's something like it's like he's like this, and he's like, oh, he's gonna beat him up, but then he's going to remind me of who I really am. This is like there's something kind of erotic here, even where he expects to be punished by Putin because Putin knows who the bad boy he really is. Okay. So it's just, but really in a dark thing, guys. It's sort of like, but what the dark is that actually he has done horrible things, exactly, spanking stuff. But it's like that he has like raped children, he has like treason and all that. But now it's bigger and it's real. Oh, Luciana is saying killing off the humiliating father, but not able to because he's castrated in a way. Yeah, it's almost like Putin is like the kryptonite. Okay, so it's kind of like it's a little bit like he loses, like he builds up the image of the person. He builds the image of the person that he thinks it should be. But when Putin is around, he becomes the quote unquote the loser, whatever, the child that couldn't on his mind. So this is why. And I feel like it shows that Putin's like, yeah, I know who you are. The world's gonna know about it, huh? Yeah, what can we do? We can't do anything about it. So Putin is like, has this grin on, not grin, like, I know you're a bad boy, whatever. So I think Putin is going to show the world, Putin doesn't really matter. I'm sorry, Putin doesn't care about Trump, really, right? He was just smirk. That's right, exactly. Doesn't really care about him as a person. He knows that, right? But it's almost, he's like saying like, yeah, he could make me. This is why, guys, he could make me be like the big guy I always wanted to be, the guy who is really like, has a huge building, has a lot of money, and it's like a cartoon. He really thinks the whole thing is about a cartoon. Okay, so this is it. And then now, guys, this shows he loses the sense of reality. This is what happens now. Because I feel like when he realizes that he can't please Putin, okay, that he can't really please Putin, and Putin is like, the game is up. He has no motivation. Okay, he has no motivation anymore, because the whole thing for him was like becoming the superhero, the cartoon character. When he realizes that he can never become the cartoon character, that he's quote unquote a loser in his own mind, it's over for him. Like he can't even go on. Okay, this is why he can't even go on. He can't be like a person, like you and I, like, oh, hey, what's up, what's going on? No. So see you more, see you next time. But so this is interesting, right? This is fascinating. So this is why, okay? So this is it. It's like the moment where Putin is saying, I'm going to unplug you. Okay, it's like, I'm going to take the energy away from you. You're not I know who you are, and that's not. So this is it, guys. This is almost like blowing a bomb. It's kind of crazy. It's like a bomb exploding, in the sense of like, we don't know it's like he's deflating and he's totally okay. So this is okay. Now that explains. Now, Jen made a comment about the mog, his now I want to know because guys, what happens is that Trump is only one of them. What do you mean I'm talking about how Trump reacted. I was just described. This is his reaction. I've already talked about it. This is the reaction. This is the reaction. That's how he's acting now. So what I mean is that I've already said it. If you please pay attention, I was just saying that he is going to lose his motivation. he is going to like, he doesn't have the way forward. This is why now makes more sense, the idea that he may want to leave, because he crumbled. This is the thing. I think he kind of loses. You saw him walking on the stage. Okay, now to the question of what happened with the president of Argentina. He walked away. Exactly. He's totally aimless, because the focus for him is getting the approval of Putin, getting the approval. So now that he realizes he can't get the approval of Putin, I think he's totally lost. He's lost. Okay. So yeah, doesn't know where to go. It's like, why am I gonna be exposed? So now he wants to hide. This is like, he wants the closet. He wants to hide. I'm gonna hide it. And that's why I think he's gonna want to leave. Okay. Okay. So this is okay, this makes sense. So okay, why did he do that on stage in Argentina? He's dazed. He's dazed. He's like, okay, so the example I'm getting here, guys, I'll show you how I have to wear glasses because I have very bad, not pretty bad nearsighted thing. Okay, so he's like a person who needs to wear glasses. Okay, also me. So who needs to wear glasses, and he doesn't have his glasses on. He doesn't know where to go. He has very bad eyesight, and he's just like kind of like, I don't have that bad eyesight, but people who can't see, I have an aunt who really can barely see. So she sees shapes. Okay, so you know what I mean. So then I don't want to. Okay, so I'm gonna close this because I don't want to get. I just have to express. This is kind of one of those things, guys. When it's not cards, I have to just say everything that I'm seeing before I engage in a conversation. Otherwise, it really is very distracting. With cards, it's a little bit different because I'm putting this story together, so it's fun. But with vision, I just have to say what I'm seeing. So guys, this is that he sees shapes. So it's kind of like you kind of have to walk very carefully, because the world is kind of in a blur. So this is how he feels. Things are kind of in a blur, and he's supposed to be there, and then he's supposed to be there, and I don't know, he can't. He doesn't get it. There's no more, because guys, the problem with him and people like him is that he's fake. He's not genuine, right? So for people like us, like, okay, it's probably would not be as bad, because no matter how bad things get, you still know who you are, and you're still not pretending. Everybody has a sense of, you're not always the same person in public. Everybody has some of it, but the way that he is totally fake. So, and under enormous stress, you will lose it, because the stress goes into building the fake persona. Okay. So that's what it looks like. He's out of focus. Okay. And then I see people who work in the White House literally holding him up. Okay. Propping him up because he can't walk. And he's just, okay, so then what happens? He's like, oh, what time is it? He doesn't know what time it is. He's, like I said, mental breakdown, guys. And who I see Sarah Huckabee Sanders, like, oh my God. I feel like she's had a relative who lost it, like a very much older relative who's kind of went crazy. But that's what she feels like, disoriented. Okay, totally disoriented. So, okay, so he's just totally like this. He detached from the reality just so he doesn't have to deal with it. It's a defense mechanism, ultimately. Exactly. The person, yeah, exactly. Jen's saying he's like an actor that has taken on the person of the character he plays, and the show gets canceled. Now he has no identity. So, similar like that, but deeper, because it's like the stuff he's carried his whole life. So it's very serious. Okay. So then, how does this? Then just finish with the G20, guys. Okay, the thing about the MBS and Putin, and then I'm kind of believe to what's next. Okay, so why were Putin and MBS high-fiving like that? Interesting. So it's like hubris and arrogance. Okay. Interesting, because it's showing that they were like, you were gonna show these people that we own the world. We can do whatever the hell we want. We can kill people if we want. So what? So they had to do a bit of a performance that they were like, yeah, I can kill the people. You have a problem? No, I can do it. Yeah, I get away with it. So they were saying we got away with it. We showed it. Okay. Because guys, it's sort of like similar to these couples who have all these pictures on Instagram. Okay, They're like, oh, it's so much love. But isn't that weird? It's like whenever people perform so much in public, it doesn't feel real. It doesn't feel legit. So it's kind of like that. They're like, yeah, man, we did it. I killed that guy. So what? And I feel like I've seen this guy, and this guy in BS, he's so arrogant. He really is really disgusting. Okay, because I'm not defending Putin, but Putin, at least he was an outsider. He was not a person looking for money. I'm not defending, but I'm just saying this guy MBS, he really is a sociopath, and he's had all this money in the forever. He was born in this royal family, so he's dangerous. But he's just like MBS. His attitude is like, I'm laughing at all of you. All of you think that you could tell me what to do. No, you're wrong. I could do this. I did it. And he's just showing his style. You're telling the world, especially him. He's like, yeah, I killed that guy. So what? Okay, so it's very interesting. It's a very interesting. He's like, he is, yeah. So it's just the bad guys, kind of like, yeah, bitches, we're winning. It's like the pathetic theater, and they're both laughing at Trump in a way, because they're like, yeah, look, we got that idiot, we paid him. So what? They're celebrating. Okay. So, okay, so this was interesting. So, guys, wow, this was very interesting. How from the versions? Not versions, a long time. Jen is saying, I got USC in my pocket. No, but I think, guys, it's about the world, not just the US, because for them, it's, I know it sounds really scared to say, but it's a little bit like a playground, okay, with bullies and people. So it's like, except that everybody in the playground is a president or a country or something. So to them, it's like, we're the bullies of the playground. We win. Mess with us, we mess with you. So they're showing that they win and all those things. So this is the game here. Okay, it's not about the US. They're like, it's about the world. No, I've already said this, Holly. I've done readings on MBS. He's not going to stay in power. I'm not going to redo this. Okay, please, search. So you'll find out. Okay, I've already done readings on this. No, he's not going to stay in power for that long. The Saudi Arabia government people, whoever they are, they're watching the situation to see if Trump falls and Kushner falls. Then, so it's possible that they could try to remove him, but not now. Okay, all right. So, sorry, no, don't get. But I'm just sorry, because I feel like I'm doing this one topic, and if I feel like I already know the answer, and I've done readings on him recently. So I don't want to. For me, the challenge is to keep a track of all the topics. Okay, so since there's so much to cover, I feel like I need to kind of get moving, because otherwise, if we go through everything that appears in a reading, then we kind of get lost in all the threads. We want to make sure that we kind of stick to this. So the answer is, I've already, like I said, you can just search for MBS, and tarotpolitics is going to come up. Okay, so all right, so then we're going to move. Now I have to move, because really we already looked at that. Now there's, guys, big things. Oh my God, look, there's so much. I feel bad, because I feel like I wasted. Well, I guess I didn't waste time, but with a Seder, I was trying to figure out Seder, and now we have this big question about next week. Okay, now I'm gonna. If you guys have a preference, I'm gonna do visions. Okay, for the next stuff. So which is the next week. Okay, next week in Mueller, important sentencing days. So sentencing memo for Flynn, Tuesday. Sentencing memo for Cohen, which is gonna say what Mueller recommends for Michael Cohen, and then Manafort's lies on Friday. Okay, so this is that. Okay, so this is a big deal. So let's. Okay, so then. So that's it. Okay, so now let's just do visions quick. Okay, so that's it. So, all right, so then let's find out. Okay, so first of all, let's find out what's coming next week. What are we going to find out next week? What are we going to find out? First about Flynn. Okay, what about Flynn? What's going on with Flynn? So this is interesting, guys, because Flynn, it shows, this is such a weird image. I don't know where these images come from, but it's the image of, I don't know if it's the bulls, when they have the thing in Spain, I forgot what it's called, but it could be horses, those cowboy things when they have right before, or like a horse race. But it shows basically angry animals, and the gates lift, and so it's the anger being unleashed. So what I understand here, guys, is that it has to do with the troll farms for some reason. Okay, I think it has to do with connecting the worldwide anger, the worldwide kind of messaging, and the anger, maybe the warfare. Okay, since he's in the military, he has military background, running the bulls. Yeah, so it's sort of like unleashing the thing. Okay, so who is? Tell me, give me the faces of the people that he's going to talk about. I get Mercer, Trump, Kislyak, the money, exchange for military aggression, exchange for military. Okay. Is he okay? So is he going to talk about Cambridge Analytica? He was involved in Cambridge Analytica. Is he going to talk about it? Yes or no? Yes, Mueller's gonna mention the troll farms, because it's saying, guys, it's coming back to me. Also, this discussion of one. There was a video of his one time talking about, oh, there are these soldiers online, or the internet warriors, something like that. Okay, that's what it looks like to me. He's involved in the troll thing. I don't know, guys. It could be that it's me who wants to know about this. Okay, or that I see this connection, but that's what I see. You say there's an unleashing of the aggression. Could be the attack and all those things. Okay, so yeah, so he's saying he's important because he talks about the quid pro quo. Okay, the quid pro quo, in the sense that they were going to give one thing for them, and they're going to give something back to them. So it's like he knows, it was obviously about the money. Okay, like there's this text message, apparently this is public, how during the inauguration he was already texting somebody that he could make millions from some sort of deal with, I forgot who, Turkey, something, I don't remember. So that goes to show that he was selling, he was freelancing, but it shows that the key here is that he would sell American military. There's something here where he would just do something for, like, he's a very important part of the quid pro quo, knowledge of the quid pro quo and what the quid pro quo really was. Okay. Yeah. Oh, guys, by the way, I have to do a reading on Sheriff Clark, because he's another one. Okay. Yeah, but NRA, guys, and Bashar is talking about, NRA is not that guy. He's like he's one of those useful idiots. Okay. The NRA is all about torsion, and it doesn't necessarily have to do with that guy Clark. Okay. I don't know that it has to do with it. It's some bigger. The NRA is one of their organizations, but it has a bigger role. Okay. So, all right. So just that. Okay. So let's just move to the Cohen. Okay. What about Cohen? Let's see here again. Just see if I have Cohen. Okay. The sentencing for Cohen. So what will Mueller say in the recommendation sentencing for Cohen? He's going to say, sing his praises, say that he's served this country, and that he's just going to say all these nice things about him. Okay. He's going to reveal a few more things. Even I feel like he's using these opportunities, right? He was using this as a way to send messages to people. Okay. So he's just going to say what a great guy he is. And he knows that Trump's going to be mad, because he's going to say he's a wonderful person. He's sacrificed so much. Okay. So that makes sense. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. So moving as possible. So this is why, guys, like GR is talking about Flynn. So that's why Flynn is very important for that reason, because the military is the means for the quo, the quid pro quo. What is he gives the quo. And guys, it's interesting because remember how I've been seeing very strongly how the military hates Trump. Like they really are, because the military is the main source of quo for the deal, right? And the military unwilling to do what Trump wants. So this is why he feels that he's unable to do all these things, Trump, right? Because the military will not bend completely. So this is what it is, right? So this is why, and this is why, guys, Flynn was so important, and why they felt like it was a huge loss, because nobody, in the military, you can't just be put somebody from the outside, right? You can't do that. So it's very complicated. So this is why he was such a big person for them, because he was able to deliver the quote. And now that was it. So now going back to the quote I've already talked about. So then the last one, oh, Manafort, he's great. Manafort, yeah. Manafort. Great guy. Okay. What happens? What's gonna come out, Manafort? Oh my God, more GRU. It's gonna say how that guy is gonna. Oh my God, I hope so. The guy Kalimnik, he's had a business park called something Kalimnik, Konstantin Kalimnik, and the guy, he's in the GRU. Okay, he was supposedly was, but clearly he still is. So how he was, I think the indictment is going to explain, or the recommendation, whatever, how he had this. It's basically he's an employee of the Russian military. Okay, and that's it. It's going to expose the whole thing even more, because it shows that I see here an image of the door being kicked the doors out. Mueller kicked the doors. He's saying that he's like exposing the crime, because exposing the connection to Russia, and he's going to expose it even more. So it's almost like if before they didn't want, how before people like, well, some people are making up stories about us having connection to Russia. That is not true. And now Mueller's gonna be like poking the finger there, boom, boom. So he's gonna give more information about how Manafort really is some sort of spy. And I'm getting here too, guys. What's his name? Roger Stone. Roger Stone is in this. Okay. So this is it. Okay. Very interesting. So I think we answered the questions. Now, GRO mentioned Eric Prince. I kind of want to do a quick look into Eric Prince. Okay. Okay. But still, let's look. I just want to make sure I cover what was listed. So this is the thing. The attorney's sentencing document about what Cohen has told Mueller. And this is the thing. I just want to go over with you guys, okay? And I wanted to say something. I know that sometimes I get on when people say Pence. What's going to happen to Pence? I have to link, guys. I found this thread on Twitter, perfect, that explains something that stuff that's in public knowledge already. How Manafort was talking to Pence even after he left the Trump campaign. He was in constant contact with Pence, and then how there were all these recordings of Manafort. Manafort was under surveillance. Okay, so I remember how I always said that there's recordings of Pence. There's recordings of Pence, and that's it, confirmed. There's all these recordings of Pence because Pence constantly talked to Manafort. So that's why, guys, it's totally like and I was saying here, Mueller is not mentioning anything about Pence because he does not want to create a circus. He wants to nail the point of him is that he wants to create a circus, and like he doesn't want to create a circus, right? But then he has it all. His point is I need to nail, because if I say all the things that they have done, then I have to then the press and everybody will just go like, oh, now what about Pence? What about Pence? No, first he had to nail now Manafort, and then he can nail, right? So this is it. So I just wanted to give you this parenthesis because it's important. When I saw, I was like, that's perfect explanation. This is why. And how this is why they have all these recordings, and Pence, and guys, the brother, and there was even this explanation about some Russian company. His brother works for a Russian company. It's like a big deal, okay? And how there's like some company that does the motors for some sort of Russian truck. Complicated. But basically, there's all these recordings already, so it's over. Don't worry about it, okay? Don't worry about Pence. It's not happening, I don't think. Okay, so then let's look here. So the Michael Cohen file sentencing document, and what he talked about. Just wanted to say this, guys, about Michael Cohen, just to give an overview. That he is obviously talking to this stuff, about this, these meetings with the Russians. A, B, he's talking in New York to all the tax. Can you imagine, guys, the taxation department? They call him. They say, yeah, I go to him. I go over there and say numbers. So he knows like everything. Can you imagine? He tells the tax authorities about Trump, all his numbers. Yeah. So he does all of it. And then all these he mentioned this investigation in the Trump org and his kids. Yeah, we know. I have information about his children. Yeah, and also information about some other open investigations. So, guys, there's no way. There's simply no way that any of them is gonna get away from this. It's pretty much impossible. So, is there a question? Okay, what is the question? Oh, this is like, what does this mean? I'm seeing a bomb, guys. Almost as if those. If you saw Hiroshima Mon Amour, it's like a bomb. After the bomb, what is left for them? Okay, it's like this was a bomb for them. Okay. Okay, so what happens now? What has happened to these rats? It's showing, guys, that Kushner, he's like totally burned. He's like totally kind of like you've seen. I don't mean to like minimize it, but remember those images of 9/11, people kind of walking in the dust and kind of like totally something like this. Okay, it's like he just can't, like, oh, what, like they can't escape, because the thing, guys, the whole thing is showing it's like a quilt of bullshit. Okay, it's like they quilted together this lie. So then when they cut up this quilt was the cover for the stage. So then they cut up the quilt and see what's underneath it is the truth. And they can't pretend that it's not there. This is the problem for them. It's like the truth is very clear. It's really quite simple. And now they're like, oh, I guess, oh, what? Oh, because they were working so hard to tell a lie and everybody believed it. Everybody believed it. They did. They believed it. No. And so now they just can't believe it. What? This is what makes them angry, because they worked so hard to lie. And now it's all out in the open. This is why, guys, remember how the whole thing about gaslighting, why it's so important to them, and why it's almost like the gaslighting and the fear mongering is the glue that holds it together. It's like, oh, look, this is the painting their picture, telling their tales. And now it's like they can't get themselves together. Okay. She's saying don't have all the arrogance. Well, it's a little bit different. It's like they're young too. Okay, so this makes a bit of a difference. Oh my God. Okay, so yeah, they're still trying. It's like a bomb. It shows me this miniature bomb. They're trying to figure out where everything is. They still don't know. They're very afraid of contacting people because they don't know who's burned or who's not burned. They're careful with their conversations and all that. Okay, so what else? They have to pretend they don't know each other, those kinds of things. Okay, so yeah, guys, I don't think this is good. Another question, that the image of I remember I've done several readings on Whitaker, but let's just quickly one more about Whitaker, because I think it's important. So is this, remember, I feel like I've said before, there was one reading I said Rosenstein in the end will still remain, or he was gonna be there. But what's happening with Whitaker is, did you guys see the whole story? People had to go from the FTC, were trying to find him, and then they're like, what he's like, I am the chief of staff of Jeff Sessions. They're like, what? It's like this criminal that they were looking for. There he was, chief of staff of, how do I call? So, and I always thought that he was kind of like not unable to do something, or he was kind of, but let's see. I want to know what happened here. I feel like Mueller, and this is why I felt, guys, before, but let's see what's happening in this specific situation. Mueller was like, bitch, you're gonna move? I don't think so. I'm busting your ass. Like, it's like, can you imagine these people? They are such criminals. And I feel like, I don't know what the hell. Okay, so let's see here. I want to know. No. Because they went over to like, no, I'm here. Are you gonna arrest me? Huh? No. Come get me, bitch. I'm in the government. So, oh my God. Okay, so what's happened? Okay, tell me what's going on. Like, fuck. Huh. They caught me, huh? Okay, so he's just like, like I said before, it's funny, the image is the same. He's like a linebacker, but doesn't want to move. He's like, I'm not moving. No, I'm not moving. And he doesn't mind, it's almost like, I see that Mueller's people are like, or somebody else also like gave him a letter, or there's like, I think it's a document of his crimes. They're like, yeah, here, Yeah. Let's see here. Let's see if I have a card for him. Little letter. I have a little letter. What are you thinking, huh? Huh? I have a little letter of you. Oh, here. Letter. Yeah. so, so it's like bitches. I got this. You sure? You want to do it? Yeah. So, so it's interesting. I feel like they give him that information that they know about him. And then they're like, look, we're going to let you sit here like a frozen banana. And we're going to keep doing what we're doing. You're going to shut your fucking mouth, whatever. Not like that, but kind of like they kind of very quietly let him. And I feel like in some weird way, I have a sense that he was told of what's going to happen. And it's going to happen. For us, that is not going to be there no more, not very long. It's like they're saying, if you want to save your skin and not go to jail, you're going to do nothing. That's what you do, nothing. Because it's true, right, guys? I feel like all these people who are in the, what is it called? This Nixon thing, right? All these lawyers, they were trying, no. They went, bye. So it's kind of, so I think it's similar here. He does not, and all of these guys, if you think about all of them, none of them have anything. They don't stand for anything, right? They care about themselves. They don't care for Trump. Trump is just a vehicle for them to get somewhere they could not get otherwise. So, yeah. Sorry for him. I'm sorry for him. No, I'm not. So, okay. So now, guys, this is the thing. I want to just quickly check something. Make sure how nothing urgent. But what was I going to say? So what I want to know is whether okay. I'm trying to think here. Yeah, I feel like, okay, so this is that. It's like, I think, guys, I feel like he fades away. I don't think there's much movement. I don't think Trump will be able to appoint a new person or nominate a new person. He's just going to be there, kind of sort of monitoring things, but not really, because he's not really capable, kind of seeing how to move, but letting Mueller move, because otherwise he doesn't have a choice. Does it make sense? I feel like somehow they gave him they were like, we're letting you know that we know your crimes. And that if you move, this is not gonna go on for very long. Okay, so stay still. Okay. So, all right, next. Okay, next I am going to, yeah. So now, okay, so this is what I'm gonna do. I think will still have some questions. I want to just do a quick overview, guys. Unless you do have reference for cards, I kind of want to do visions here quickly on Eric Prince. Okay, Eric Prince, GR had mentioned him. I'm kind of curious about him. And I'm also curious about Cambridge Analytica. We haven't had any indictments that mentioned Cambridge Analytica. I want to know. Okay. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, but it's like, let's just go for. Okay, let's go. I want to know. Let's go forward. Okay. So okay. All right. So. Okay. So then let's go to whether. Tell me what's going to happen to Eric Prince. Is he going to be indicted for what? Eric Prince, lifelong criminal connected to Betsy. There's a whole other thing with those servers, with the shady money, and the servers helped Russia and everything. He's connected to so much. Eric Prince. He is connected to Seychelles meetings. George Nader. He's nailed. He's pissed because they all got him. So I think he has been. I think he has been to an interview or something. He has been interviewed, I believe. Okay. And he's lied the whole time. They're just like, whatever, that guy's such a joke. And they're putting him on the side because they want to get he's not in the government. So he's kind of, they're putting to the side, okay, until they get the bigger ones. And then he goes down. So what happens to him? Yeah, he goes to some prison, shows in some sort of mountain. I think he does go to prison. I see him, his handcuffs. Okay. Yeah, he's kind of crazy, guys. They're all sociopaths. Okay. So What is the big thing for him? He had the quid pro quo again. He wanted to sell the military. That's right. Have you remember how, guys, for example, I don't know if you remember this. This was actually news, okay? Him and Bannon went to the military. It was like, I have idea. I have great idea. Why don't we get rid of entire army? Yeah, hire privates. Yeah, this is my idea. I am very smart because he's a mercenary. So he, he has private armies. So it's like, yeah, let's get rid of it. No, who needs it, huh? Because then, of course, on his mind, he could just be like a worldwide army that for hire, and you have to do whatever they want, right? But I think military people are clever. Yeah, they understand. They understand. And that's the other thing, guys. Can we just talk about something that is something interesting about the U.S. military? I think not that I don't know anybody in the military, actually, close friend or anything, but I know that a lot of people in the military. I remember reading this thing about how in the civil rights, right before the civil rights era, a lot of the GIs who had fought in the Second World War had gone to Europe and had fought, and they saw that there was a kind of like a better experience they had over there, okay? And they came back to the US and they felt at ease in the way in the army. They felt like it was a means to go up in the world, to kind of like it was just kind of like to have a better life, and then they had to go backwards when they returned, because so there was a way for people to go up in the world, to have a career, to have a good life and everything. So they want to remove that too. This is also part of the reason, because they don't want people to have opportunities to do things or whatever, right? Even though the people in the battles, like in the battlefields, are like nowadays like people of color, Latinos, Black people, you know what I mean? So it's yet another situation where they want to, be super racist, right? So they want to remove everything. So that's why I think the military was like, no, bitch. Yeah, why would do I look stupid to you? Yeah, no. So so this is it, okay? And then guys, this interesting, I have never seen, I never looked into this, but I kind of feel like, and I don't want to make these things very lightly, and I don't, who knows, it could be different things, but I think there's the human trafficking thing. There's something related to children here and Eric Prince. So I'm not, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I feel like those people are capable of anything, guys, okay? And his sister is great sister. Yeah, what happens to Betsy DeVos now that we're having a conversation? I love her. She's my buddy. Yeah, no. Can you imagine that woman? Oh my God, disgusting. Can you imagine? That woman is so gross. Okay, tell me what's going to happen to Betsy. I love Betsy. I'm the devil. I love her. No. What's going to happen to Betsy DeVos? What is the deal? What is the stuff? What has she done? The issue with the servers, the children. She's involved in the human trafficking, guys. It's a bigger deal here. It's showing than you think. They get the children, they try to like put them up for adoption, make money off of it. Okay, the Christian is like, oh, she's all with the Christian, cuckoo Christian weirdo thing. Okay, and they're all about, I've said this before, guys. They're in some sort of really weird religion that there's the people that it's a little bit like Scientology almost, like there's the people that are the better people or something like that. Okay, and that she thinks she and her brother are like are, what is it? It's almost like they think they really are princes. They're like, we were born. Oh, this is connects, guys. This is the thing. It's coming back, stuff that came up in that book, The Family, that they think that because they were born rich, they're sort of like the children of God, the closest to God, or something like that. They feel like they think they can't. They have what their God. What is it? Almost like the monarchs used to have in the absolutist France. Okay, of this Louis the 14th, that kind of thing. They think of themselves that way. They feel like they could do anything. They're better, whatever. So the chosen ones, exactly. They were the chosen ones, and it's like fuck the rest. But they have these like weird. This is why, guys, the thing about children for them. This is like, it's so evil. But they said they want to mold the children. This is so weird to me. It's so foreign, but that's what it is. They want to mold the children. It's important to them somehow. Okay, so they're like crazy. They're like a cult. They really are. Okay, So then what happens to her? What does Mueller have on her? She is like this weird, oh my God, this is gonna be come up later with the especially with the immigration, but there's also the connection to the servers. She knows about, this is the thing, she's connected to the messaging with the Russians. Okay, there was something where like they exchange data. There's something about the data. It's so showing me also Peter Thiel. There is a weirdness here, guys, with her. Like it's stuff that we haven't even talked about. Okay. Yeah, but it's all, it's not just what is is it a quid pro quo here? What is the relationship between she and Trump? Oh, this is all about the Christian thing. Okay, this is connected to Pence. To connect it to, they want to change the government. Okay, they want to change the government to be about Jesus Christ or whatever. Oh wow, interesting. Saying the guys about grew up in Grand Rapids, exactly how they, yeah. So it's just really weird, guys, how, yeah, it's like all these, the government is like, look at you, we know it better. It's like I bake cakes when it's weird. It's almost like I said, it's sort of like I'm just trying to explain. It's so strange. It's like, imagine if, for example, like a socialite. It's so weird to me. I can't even explain this. It's like a capriciousness is the word that comes to my mind. Like, she doesn't know anything, okay? And she's just like, I don't know. It's just like she has no idea about anything. It's very strange to me. It's hard to even explain. I guess the closest thing I think is Scientology. It's like they belong to this small cult where they are very high ranking or something, and they feel like they could tell you what to do just because, and they have the weird quirks, and everybody's afraid to upset them. It's just weird to me. Like, what the hell are you talking about? Because she's so dumb. But that's just it. It's all about this weird capriciousness, and it's like contaminating. It's really weird. It really is a cult. It's like a cult within the government. That's it. It's a cult. And there's not much ideology. It's just all about this weird capriciousness about, they use this Christianity as a means to justify their bullshit. Okay. The idea of Christianity. Yeah. So, okay. But guys, she's showing here right away the evangelicals. Oh, guys, let me ask quickly, because I feel like I've done this, but I forgot. What does Mueller find out about the evangelicals? Oh, that's what I said before. Now it's coming back. They help get the Russian money to the country. So what is the purpose of the evangelicals? I see them, and she's connected to them. What's the purpose of the evangelicals in the government? The evangelicals, it's like the Bible thing. So what is it? They want to, yeah, they have the perfect excuse for everything. They just want to erase everything that is not like them. Simple. Okay, so that's the ideology, and the Nazi thing comes from them, part of it. Okay, so then, yeah, they don't want to pay, but okay, oh, that's right, they don't want to pay taxes. They want to be the government. It's almost as if oh my God, this is so scary, but it's how they see it. They see themselves as a parallel government that's going to take over. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like how, for them, it's like, oh, the government is like the random, for them, it's like, oh, look at these random people kind of saying, wanting things. That's so weird. We're better. We're from God. God chose us to do it our way. Everything that's not done our way, get rid of it. Bye. Seriously. So it's kind of like there's no, exactly, to them is like I said, there's no, to them, everything makes perfect sense. It's all very rational. They have an explanation for them. Government's like, wait, what? Random people? Can you imagine, like, people off the street? So strange. So weird. Oh, like they just feel like they could just do things so weird. Oh my God, is serious? And that's it. Okay, there's no, because this is the thing, guys. In a way, it explains the Republicans, because to me, when I see what they talk about, it's very like they don't challenge. There's no room for a challenge. Like you say, okay, guys, are you sure you want to say this? Are you sure you want to give the right message? And people have discussions, and no, it's not like that. It's like there's a weird, like, I don't know. It's like there's no, it's reminding me of some people in tech are like that. Okay, you can't criticize anything. There was this guy, I don't want to name names, whatever, doesn't matter. This guy, he's a very famous person. I'm sure he's done good things, but he was like, the climate that we're in right now, somebody like Darwin were to publish something, people would like, what would he do? And it's weird because this is somebody who supposedly works in, technology, quote unquote, science. There's an element of science, and it's so strange. And it's like, and I wrote to him, I was like, it's fascinating. The same people, people like you who claim to be about truth and science support somebody like the Kochs who spent billions on challenge scientific findings. This is the same thing. It's kind of like they have this bizarre idea that the truth is something, it's like they say something, it has to be true. And if you say, are you sure? I'm not sure this is the right way. And if anybody has, because the whole thing that these people have against, let's say, people like us, is this idea of what is it called? Identity politics. In other words, the idea that our experiences matter. I think for them, that's how it is. It's like they can't stand the idea that we have a different narrative and that we can create the narrative as well. They don't own the truth. They don't own history. So it's like really, it's fascinating. So there's the same thing. It's kind of like, oh, no. You can't have the history cannot be made by, the history cannot be made by people. It has to be made by this bizarre fake thing. Okay, who's the master? It's an interesting question. So who's Vicky asked one question. Who is the mastermind that put all of this together? Guys, first person's the Kochs. First thing, okay, the Kochs had the money and they were intelligent enough. But guys, it's a connection, it's a meeting of minds. It's a little bit like, maybe it's because I've read this book, but it's Sparky saying GRU. It's not necessarily that. The GRU, they made use of something that was already in place. They understood that the far right and the rich people, they were really upset with Obama. And they understood they could exploit it. And they didn't create it. Guys, I know I'm very tough on the Russians, but the Russians didn't create voter suppression, right? It has been going on for years and years. So this is why, it's very interesting if you think about it. So they exploited a situation that existed, and it has to do with this idea. Yeah, the billionaire donors. Okay, this is it. Remember the whole, because guys, if you think about it, just think about it. Okay, so Citizens United would not have been able to happen without the billionaires supporting it. Okay, so the billionaires were like, okay, let's get it. This is why these people feel so emboldened, because they have unlimited money. Okay, I'm serious. They have all the, okay, imagine all the money in the world, they have it. All the money they need to do anything on those expensive lawsuits, to them is like, whatever. It's like $10. I mean, seriously, for them. You know what I mean? Like a huge lawsuit is $10 or something, with all the most expensive lawyers, considering how much money they have. So it's like, oh, $10. Oh, wow. Okay. So, to them, it's like, it's very minor considering how much money they have. So this is it. And they they have this plan, and they were like going to change things. And they cannot, because to them, guys, and I don't know if this was on the book, I'm seeing this here too. The whole thing that they hated with Obama, even though I think Obama is not actually he's not necessarily the most left person in the world. Think about it. Obama is really in many ways a moderate. And so for them, Obama is the biggest loss that they could have withstand, is the idea that somebody who, like a black guy who came from nothing, could just, I'm serious, guys, I'm 100% serious. To them, there's something about being from the elite and that world being kind of out of bounds. Okay, you can't touch us. And the idea that regular people could just be like, I'm going to be the president and I'm going to make life better for them. No. Like, because if you think about it, honestly, guys, in most countries, Obama would not even be considered, like, a lot of countries, not even left. Like, it's sort of center, right? So, but to them, it's like they feel like they're entitled to everything. And they're almost, this is the thing, we're almost there. What the hell are these people? Who the hell do you think they are? And that's why they anything that has to do with, like, okay, let's get more people, let's give people health insurance. More people have health insurance. Socialism, right? Because to them, something that is not about them is socialism, or whatever it is, whatever it is they call it, it's communism or something. Can you imagine? It's sort of like, if people don't have health, they die. I'm sorry, that's it. And they're totally comfortable with people dying, with people having, no, we're perfect, because they're saying everything is supposed to serve us. We know better. We succeed. And this is, guys, is going back to this guy with the technology guy. I'm not going to say his name. It doesn't matter who he is, because he's just expressing an idea that has existed for a long time. The idea of the Darwinism, right? Some people are stronger and they should win. And so what? That's how nature is. Okay? That's it. So to them, this is very offensive, because it's like, we're stronger, we're better, everything should serve us. And whatever crumbs exist, you can just have the crumbs. Have the crumbs. So I'm serious, guys. This is how they think, okay? So, okay, guys, it's funny, I'm going off topic, but I feel like I'm really getting, understanding so much is coming here, okay? So, okay, so then this is what I'm understanding. This, guys, this is important, okay? This is when I want to ask this question. You know how many of you say, oh my God, what about the bays? What about the bays? The base doesn't really matter so much. What really matters are these people. How are these billionaires going to react? This is the question, because the base is just a tool. They're tools. Unfortunately, these are the primitives. Hitler said in his book, he called the people that he was speaking to, the quote unquote, the primitives, the ones who could be manipulated. But the ones we're talking about here are the ones who really put this whole thing together. What's going to happen to them? Okay, so what's going to happen to this? They must die soon, I'm sure. They're not going to live forever, the Kochs. What's going to happen to them, to these people who, Adelson, all these people? What's going to happen to them when this whole thing, when Mueller comes out? Okay, so, and all these, okay, this is one, guys, I know that, I was going to say, so I know that they put this together, but the other question I have, what's going to happen, not just to them, they have these millions of organizations, millions of them, all these like hundreds of think tanks. It's not enough, if they die, then these organizations still going to, like the Heritage Foundation. What are the other ones? Hundreds of them. I can't even think about it. They have all of this, like, so I want to know what's going to happen to not just them, but they're like, these organizations that they support them. Are we going to change the laws? Because, they could still go on, and they're going to be still buying politicians or whatever, or putting up this bullshit that they do, the fake climate science or whatever. So what's going to happen to them? What about the Kochs and all these people who really have really fomented this from the start? Okay, so what's going to happen? Yeah, it's showing here, guys, they wanted a worldwide oligarchy. And this is why they were fine. They were totally fine with like having the Russians, helping the Russians, because they don't care about the country. They want the whole world. They want to do whatever they want. Okay, so, all right. So tell me what's going to happen to these people. What about these organizations that are supported by them? What's going to happen? I'm going to be silent for a bit, guys. Okay, guys, this was really interesting. Okay. It's almost like a dream. So like a dream, because the imagery sometimes is abstract. So it shows here that when I was a kid, I used to have these toys. They were like little wood blocks. They would build a house, but this is what it shows, that it's the Kochs here show they have the wood blocks. They put this strategy together. They organized everything. So they put this strategy together. They made this story. And then Mueller, it's still in like a toy format. Mueller puts a bomb in, blows it up. They blows up their strategy. Because what it's showing, guys, is that when the Mueller team and everybody on the good side is looking into how it happened, how was this allowed to happen? They go back to them. They go back to the people who put together these LLCs, these financial instruments, the financial structure to make the money come into the country. It would not have happened without Citizens United. So they really dig deep, and they investigate and all those things. And so it shows, guys, it's going to have to, And this is showing, it's interesting, people, we've seen like, oh, how the world changes and the ascension, all those different things, but it's showing that in order to survive, we're going to have to dismantle the system of the LLCs, the shady organizations on that, because the world cannot survive. They cannot survive like this, because it's showing that when you hide, this is the thing. It's like everything is like the answer here. The answer is transparency, because those, sort of like they hide and they kind of put the money in, and they influence how what you're supposed to say, what you're supposed to think. And so until everything is revealed and searchable to everybody, like nothing's going to, because it's showing Mueller, the result of the Mueller investigation is going to show the structure of international money laundering on a grand scale. It's going to show not just the US, but the world, and how money laundering happens and what enables this. It's going to be a very open thing. Like everybody's going to know how this happens. So what it shows is that, I'm trying to think here, guys. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so this is like, it's not going to be because, oh, socialism. No, it's not going to be because people are particularly left. Okay, it's going to be because without transparency, the system can't run. Okay, we can't survive a post-Trump world without, unless we have extreme transparency. This is what's going to be needed to rebuild the country. So it's just like, it's Luciana talk about Wall Street. Well, it's not just even that, guys. I think it's something else even. It's like the government is, you know what I mean? If the government is run by these people, it's a much bigger scale than just, you know what I mean? I think the government used to allow Wall Street to do specific things, but now the government is, you know what I mean? They want to create a government that has no interest in helping people, just being a corporation. So this is, you know what I mean? So like I said, I don't know that it has necessarily to do with, let's not confuse. Let's just keep to this, the whole thing with Citizens United, okay? Because I don't want to go, oh, now let's just say, like I said, it's easier for me if we kind of try to limit, because again, this whole thing is so huge. So that's what I said. I think the special thing, I think I've said, remember how I said one time, how the system of LLCs and the system of all these like offshore accounting and all those different things, it's going to change. People are not going to be able to hide their money anymore in all these accounts abroad and all those really weird, they have all these weird schemes to never pay taxes. I don't think they're going to be able to there's going to be a crackdown on this and all that, I believe. Okay. Because otherwise, like, how do you know what I mean? It's crazy. So that's that. Okay. Then, okay. Oh, and this is the other part of the vision that I thought was so, then the second part comes. It's like, it shows that these organizations, as if like a man who's like it's an image of an older man, okay? And it's like he's losing, all his teeth are falling. Once these laws come out, the teeth fall, all of them. So the teeth fall. And why does it fall? Because they lose the means to speak. Okay, kind of like, if they could, what allowed them to speak was the opacity and the bullshit. And it's showing them, guys, like he's it sounds weird, like the Coke, especially Charles Coke, he's the cow. He's the cow, and he's the cow that generated the milk that everybody drank. So, you know what I mean? When you remove him from this role of being the cow, where like the tainted milk comes from, then, but it's showing, guys, it's like the lifting, it's the revealing. This stuff is the truth, but it just was not revealed before. And they hadn't gone as far. Okay, this is the truth. They were trying to wrestle this whole thing, okay? And like I said, Luciana is saying international banking. No, this is not, let's just, like I said, I'm sorry, can you let's stop with the Wall Street bashing 100% all the time, okay? Let's just keep here to the point of now. The Kochs are not on Wall Street. They're not bankers. They are in oil, okay? This is not necessarily even about Wall Street alone. It's mostly about oil. This is what it is. Because the interest, the whole thing with the climate change, why are they so, and this is how the Russia stuff connects, okay? So that's what I mean. It's like, we have to focus on this one situation, which is like how, and then it can affect all the other parts of the system. But until we have the clarity about where this comes from and why, this is how it goes. Okay. So it's just like, I don't want to be like, oh my God, these are horrible people. No, you have to go. Let's not generalize necessarily. Let's go to the specific situation we're dealing with, and then look into it. And then, because like, oh well, these people are so horrible. Oh, like, no, let's look at one situation, dismantle it, and then we find a solution there. Okay, and then it can be applied to other things as well. Because if you say, okay, well, let's like regulate Wall Street, then the tech is around. It's like, there's not one evil industry necessarily alone. There's all of them, different ones, different kinds. So, you know what I mean? So this is very interesting when you think about all of it, right? So it's just like transparency. If we have transparency, it goes a long way. If it's like we can know the whole, if you think about how this administration has been all about opacity, hiding, doing things hidden. And this is the modus operandi of the Kochs and all those big, all these things. So it's just that's that, guys. They're okay. So are they going to create some sort of like, what's going to happen to them? Are they gonna, these are more dangerous, much more dangerous than the little guy who goes to Charlottesville or whatever. What is gonna happen to them? Are they gonna, see them hide? Guys, I remember at the very beginning, I had this vision about them, how they're gonna go to hearings, and they were like hiding because people were yelling at them, like, look at them, they're da-da-da-da. The same thing. It's like the shame. But this is the thing, guys. This is so interesting. The opacity is what gives them power. Once everything is exposed, they lose. Oh my God, guys, it's so creepy what I'm seeing here. How it connects so much to Facebook. This is so crazy because it's a very different industry. Okay, because they do these. They work with chemicals and oil, all different kinds of industries. That's one thing. But Facebook, how, for example, if you read this book, the Dark Money book, it's shady. They have almost like a mafia. They control. They don't let any information come out. Okay, so they're very controlling about the truth of what they do. They always wanted to say something. They control the narrative so much. And the same thing with Facebook. They always want to control. Why do they want to do that? Because they're doing things that are ultimately harmful, right? Because if let's say, for example, any company, or I said this before, like if there was a problem that happened in a company, they attract all these negative things, these negative events, then all you want to do is to expose it. Oh, look, this happened. Let's find out, want to talk to the public about what happened. The fact that these companies, the Kochs and Facebook, for example, have the same strategy where they never talk about what they do. They never really show they are all about creating a narrative that's fake because of this, because what they do is ultimately harmful. And if we create a structure where everything is about transparency, then this stuff loses power. They lose power because like I said, they win in the dark. So, wow, this was intense, very intense. Oh my God, guys, my throat is a little scratchy. Okay, so that's that. I think I have to go. Wow. So anyway, guys. Okay. Oh my God, this was intense. I'm like, okay, I have to process. Isn't that crazy? But I feel like it explained a lot. You know what I mean? I think it explained a lot. Like, I think I understand things better now. Sometimes this is what is great, like, about the vision, is that sometimes it just gives you a full perspective on, like, we just keep asking quickly. And this is why sometimes I snap with you guys. I'm sorry, it's not personal. It's just like, sometimes I like to go to like, all these things. So, wow. So yeah. So that's the school, guys. So yeah, so this is good. Okay. So this is nice. I don't know. Maybe, I may not do a thing. I may not do what is it called? A thing tomorrow. I feel like this was intense. I think there's a lot of information already. And actually, I know this stuff, it takes me a while to do after I do the videos, then I do the summary. But I kind of feel like it's helpful because even I don't understand. Like, sometimes I say there's so much going on and I forget about the information, not I forget, it's just like, and then when I have to put it into words to stop at the time or whatever, then it's like, wow, it's crazy. Especially reading like this. I feel like I would like it to be that I would like to have a summary of this because, you know what I mean? Because sometimes it's just because I feel like I'll learn a lot from it. So yeah. So, right? Very interesting. Quite interesting. So wow, is that crazy, guys? But yeah, I'm very hopeful. I think we're on better positions. Yeah, so that's why I feel like I'm gonna do this, guys, moving forward. Sometimes, right? It's nice. So, all right. So have a great night, and then tomorrow happy Hanukkah if you do Hanukkah. So, oh my god. Yeah, no, with Monday. Mom, I'm sure, guys, can you imagine? There's gonna be so much news on Monday. Can you imagine? There's gonna be. I'm sure there will be a lot of informations. Okay. All right, guys. Good night. Okay. Okay. Bye.